And boy howdy, what a patch it is, guys. What a patch it is. I don't know if anybody's looked at it yet, but it is tiny. It looks like there's a lot, but there's not. Let me mute my music, because we're gonna read this. We're gonna go over it. I'm gonna give my thoughts. I'm gonna give my opinions. Dota has also put a little what's coming up next thing. A lot of people's initial reaction with this patch is it's pretty minor. People were hoping for a really big, like, gameplay change, super big updates, sweeping changes across the board, altering items and creeps and map objectives and all sorts of stuff, and we really didn't get any of that. But what did we get? Let's actually look into it. We got a bunch of tweaks, really. I'll try to go over what I think are the more impactful ones, how I think it's going to affect the meta. I'm just some garbage player anyways, so I'm probably going to be wrong on a lot of this stuff, but we'll see if I'm right. I have a couple of hot takes. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Item changes. They're changing, 6 items? A couple of minor things. Eternal Shroud apparently isn't being built enough. The heroes that like to make this, yeah, the magic resist is good, but they're making it for the regen and the mana. I mean, it's not bad. It's fine. So I think that's, maybe we'll see some more of that. Midas is a little bit nerfed. This is, again, completely fine. This thing now has 2 charges. So if you weren't perfect before, this is still just as fine. Heart of Taras getting a little bit of a nerf, making it 100 gold more expensive to get, and it's on the recipe, which is the worst item for it to be on. And the strength bonus is getting decreased to 35. So from 40 to 35. Pretty decent change as far as heart's concerned. A lot of players were making heart just for, I don't know, stock standard. Even heroes that wouldn't normally take something like this. It was seeing a shit ton of people picking this up, so this will at least slow it down, and it'll make it not as crazy as people are making it. Helm of the Overlord, slight buff to the armor, which is to reflect the Vladimir's offering armor change, and people aren't making Pavis, so they're gonna make that a nicer item to buy. Okay, AA has got a bit of a nerf. People are playing AA a bunch, and they're tweaking them down. Not very substantial in the early game, but again, it's going to impact the later game, for sure. Ice Blast's duration getting nerfed by about 2 seconds at level 4, and 6 DPS at level 4 on Ice Vortex. Nothing huge. Bristleback's receiving some changes. Max damage cap is going down by 50. The threshold is being increased quite a bit. This is going to make him a lot less tanky early on. Players will be able to kill him a lot easier because he won't be bristling you in the back. 300 is a big significant change. That's 75 more HP that you have to chew through in order to activate this, so that's pretty big. And Hairball is getting a bit of a nerf. It was kind of a crazy ability that Bristleback could do. So happy to see that's getting adjusted a little bit. Nothing too much, though. Chaos Knight. This is one of the heroes that was being spammed completely. People are complaining about this hero left and right. So let's see what they changed about him. His base damage is being decreased by 5. That's pretty big. That's actually fucking kind of huge. That's like an entire item's worth of damage right there, just from the beginning of the game. It's going to make last hitting with him a little bit harder. It's going to make killing with him a little bit harder. His stun and follow-up is still untouched, so that's going to be the exact same. So I think he's still going to be a pretty aggressive laner. I don't think this is going to hit him exceedingly hard, but the 5 damage is pretty big. And Phantasm, they're making the mana cost a little bit higher. You basically never had to buy mana items on Chaos Knight, so maybe now they're trying to punish people for doing that a little bit. I don't know, but going from 175 to 300 at level 4 is actually pretty big, or at level 3. And Lifesteal Penalty against creeps increased from 40% to 70%. So this is the big one. I wanted to wait for this one. Chaos Strike was what made this guy such a crazy laner. He could greed out regen. He could go for his bigger items sooner because he didn't have to buy things like tangos. He could just be aggressive in the lane. That 5 base damage going away is going to make this heal for less. And now this is a 70% nerf to his lifesteal against creeps, where it was only 40% before. That is going to be huge for his laning. This is going to make laning on him a lot more scary and put him on kind of a level playing field. He was a little bit OP in the lane if he didn't have anything that could turn this off or apply some really, really heavy pressure to him. So I think that's going to be extremely, I don't know, that's going to be really hard for him. So hopefully this here gets spammed a little bit less. I still think he's going to be pretty strong, but those 2 changes here and here I think are going to make him a little bit of a weaker laner, which is where he really excelled. He would just snowball into the game really hard. Dark Willow, Shadow Realm, cooldown increased. This is a ability that people were just getting fucking tilted off the earth with. It's really hard to deal with. A Dark Willow late game with like Ag Scepter. This ability is absolutely insane. So making it so that she can only do it maybe once per fight instead of twice, or giving her a longer window of being able to actually do something to her is going to be pretty big. So I like this. Dazzle, bad juju no longer affects any Blink Dagger's 3-second mute period after taking damage. No longer affects any Blink Dagger's 3-second mute period after taking damage. I don't know what this means. I actually don't know what this means. Does this mean that he could bad juju and blink immediately before? I didn't even know that, if that's the case. Seems like a way to mitigate the intention of Blink Dagger, like techies used to be able to. They change it on him, it makes sense they would change it on Dazzle, if that's what it means. I think it is. So he could bad juju and immediately blink out, even if he was muted, huh? Huh, okay. Drow Ranger, they really didn't touch this hero too much. I thought they would maybe do a little bit more, because it's not being picked too much. But multi-shot decreased from 26 down to 20, to 24 to 18. So a 2-second decrease across the board. Make farming with her a little bit more nice, but overall I don't think it's going to be that big. Earth Spirit. Cooldown now begins when the current role is completed. So apparently, I don't know, that seems pretty minor, but it seems like that's the way it should be anyways. People aren't really playing Enigma. They want people to play Enigma. They're making the cooldown of the ultimate 20 seconds cheaper at level 1. So that you don't, when you whiff a black hole or when you use it, you don't have to wait over 3 minutes for it to come back up. Now you just have to wait exactly 3 minutes. Inkswell Ag Shard spell lifesteal has now a 20% penalty versus creeps. Sure. Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage increased from damage increased to 8 to 26 from 6 to 24. So again, 2 damage across the board. Not huge, just a minor tweak. People apparently aren't playing him as much and they want him to play him a little bit more. Rocket Barrage damage. Is that his ult? That's the ult, right? No, that's not the ult, sorry. Yeah, okay, that's his okay, yeah, never mind. I'm dumb. I always forget Gyrocopter's abilities and what they're called, because I never play that hero. Juggernaut, Omni Slash, bonus damage increased from 30 to 50 to 40 to 50. So a little bit stronger at level 1. Sure. Okay. Just going to be able to kill people a little bit easier, I guess. Make him a little bit more scary when he hits level 6. People aren't really respecting the Omni Slash all that much, I guess, at level 1. Or at level 6, whatever. Kunkka. This is another hero that is getting picked in every single game. Kunkka, Chaos Knight, and Spirit Breaker, I think are going to be the big ones that we see here. Let's see what they did. Ghost Ship delay decreased from 45% to 35%. So they buffed his Ghost Ship. Damage delayed decreased from 45% to 35%. Wait, no. Delayed reaction to incoming damage. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They nerfed it. This is always such a weird thing to read. Allied heroes touched by the Ghost Ship are given a swig of the Admiral's Rum, receiving bonus movement speed and a delayed reaction to incoming damage. Okay, so they're making that delay smaller, which is a nerf. Sorry. This pad is disappointing as fuck. Well, I think they just tweaked some stuff. We're going over it now. Tidal Wave decreased damage. This was doing absolutely ridiculous damage. It only has a 12-second cooldown. I think maybe the knockback distance should be tweaked a little bit, but we'll see what the damage does. Torrent Storm. This is the huge ability. People were rushing to Ag Scepter after Blade Mail on this guy. And even if you had no clue how to play this hero, you could hit Torrent Storm and be like, hey, look, guys, I'm helping. Duration decrease from 5 to 4 seconds. Cooldown increase from 7 to 75 seconds. So a little bit of a tweak, making it decreasing its total active time by 20% and increasing the cooldown by 5 seconds is gonna. I think that's probably good enough. Yeah, that mixed with the Heart of Tarask nerfs a little bit, I think it's gonna make this hero a little bit harder to come online, and your Ag Scepter maybe a little bit less impactful once you get it immediately. Is it enough? I'm not sure. I feel like Torrent Storm was the difficult ability to deal with. They didn't touch Blade Mail at all, which I'm a little bit surprised about, actually. I thought they would knee-jerk reaction hit Blade Mail and Heart a little harder than they were going to, but they didn't touch Blade Mail even a little bit. So that's good for me, because I play a lot of Blade Mail heroes. Leshrac Lightning Storm, slow duration increased. Okay, you're going to be able to slow people some more. Cast range increased on Earth Spike by 75 range. That's huge. That's actually pretty big. That's like a 15% increase or something like that. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see. Lycan, base agility increased to 18 and agility gain increased by 0.4. Cool, you'll see more agility on Lycan. You're going to be able to attack faster and maybe tank some more hits in the lane since you have better agi gain. I think that's a good change. Heroes like Lycan are pretty cool. I don't think like they get enough play as it is. I mean, really good players use like Lycan and shit, but then bad players like me don't know how to micro his creeps correctly. That with the Overlord change, getting more armor. This guy's just gonna have a bunch of armor, so that'll be cool. Sidekick cast range increased, sure, whatever. Muerta, they nerfed her ult a little bit, decreased the duration down to 2 seconds split. Actually, 2 seconds across the board. That's pretty huge, actually. You're going to have 5 seconds at level 1 to actually use your ult. That seems kind of crazy, but okay. Movement slow decreased from 30% down to 15 up to 30. What is the movement slow that this did? This just did AoE movement slow? Oh, no, this is the wrong thing. This is not her ult. I'm an idiot. This is her... God, see, this is why I need to actually play other heroes. This is her W. Her ring silence thing. Okay, so you don't have as much crazy movement slow. This is going to actually really affect her, I think, as a support pick. That's crazy. Okay, Necro. They increased the cost of Mana Shroud by 30%. Heartstopper Aura regen duration decreased from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. Ag Scepter decreased by 5%. Deathseeker increased. Okay. It's overall, I still think Necro is going to be really strong. They didn't touch the big... Oh, the regen duration going down by 1/8. I think it's still probably fine. I think he's probably still fine. I don't think he's going to feel this too much. This probably the Heartstopper Aura is the one. And the Deathseeker cooldown. Being able to do this twice in a fight was pretty nice, but we'll see. Primal Beast. Trample increased all the way just 90 across the board. Level 1's not going to do anything. Level 4, you're going to have to do more mana stuff. Cooldown increased on Pulverize by about 4 seconds. I think that's appropriate. This guy was able to do ults like fucking nothing, dude. He would just do it constantly. His ult's not that crazy, so I think it's fine, but I think the 4 seconds is justified. 25 talent Pulverize duration decreased from 100% to 67%. Okay. I think you still take that one, though, because I don't think his other 25 is that great. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's situational. Shadow Shaman. Hex damage amp increased. Wow, they buffed Shadow Shaman. Okay, cool. Spectre. Base armor decreased by 1. Absolutely shredded. No one's going to be picking this hero, boys. Out of the meta. All right, Spirit Breaker. This was the third hero I said that they should hit with a stick. Charge of Darkness. This is the Q, the charge. Cooldown increase from 21 to 22, so it's a second increase across the board on charge. And Ag Scepter cooldown increase from 8 to 9 seconds. Huh. I mean, okay. Greater bash damage multiplier against creeps decreased from 1.5 to 1.3. I don't know. This doesn't really feel like it did anything to this hero. Cooldown is a little bit worse by a single second. That seems... I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't touch the stun duration at all. I could see this going from like a... I could have seen this going up 3 to 4 seconds. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. I don't feel like they touched this hero enough. I don't know what they need to do, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think this hero's still going to get spammed. Timbersaw. You feel it early, but when Octarine is online, it will be negligible. Yeah. Because keep that in mind, Octarine is better the longer cooldown something is, right? So, so before Octarine... What's the cooldown reduction on Octarine? 25%, right? So from 12 seconds, 25% of that is 3. So it would have gone down to 9. Right? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah. And then 25% of 13 is just like 3.25. No? Is that not how that works? Yeah, 3.25. So it's a slight... You get like the majority of it. You actually get further. You're gonna get it cooldown reduced even further than you were going to before with Octarine. However, it's going to be a longer time still. So you actually get more cooldown reduction with Octarine this way, but you still have almost a full second. It's still gonna basically be a full second. It's actually 0.75 seconds. And then the Ag Scepter cooldown. At 9 seconds. 8, it was going to go down to 2. So that was literally a 6-second charge of darkness. Now it's going to be like 6.5 or something like that. 2.25. So 9... 6.75. So yeah, it's 0.75 seconds longer once you get Octarine. I was thinking they were going to do something to make this guy harder in the lane, man. Damage multiplier against creeps decreased from 1.5 to 1.3. I don't even think that matters that much. I mean, okay, it does actually, because now I wonder if he can't clear waves. I wonder how this affects him clearing waves. Because if this guy can't one-shot waves, he becomes much, much, much worse. Like if he needs like a full stack of items already, because what made this guy insane... Yes, he could be around the map, and yes, he could charge heroes, but he could just do everything. He could split push the entire game, and he just would charge, instant clear a wave, and then charge somewhere else, instant clear that wave. And there was not a whole lot you could do about that. If you stop him from being able to do that, and he's not able to instant clear waves as quickly, that means he's not going to be getting his gold as quickly, and he won't be able to scale into those items as quickly. So actually, Greater Bash, this might be more impactful than I'm giving it credit for. I have to see how this pans out in an actual game. Because if this makes Spirit Breaker much slower to come online, then... Well, it's early game scaling too. So he's not going to scale as quickly, is my guess. Right? Because Charge of Darkness does a Greater Bash against whatever you hit. Right? All enemy units pass through, and the targeted unit will be hit by a Greater Bash. If the targeted unit dies, Spirit Breaker will charge... Yeah, okay. So this deals 1.3 damage to creeps. Movement speed as damage is 40%. Charge bonus speed is 275, but he builds up to it. So what is his base movement speed? I could do all this math, but man, I just don't want to. Anyways, reducing it by a factor of 0.2 is pretty large. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. We'll see how this affects it. I think this is going to make him slower to come online and not make him as hard to deal with. Anyways, we move on. Timbersaw, stat loss percent increased from 10 to 13. Sure, people really aren't picking this hero as much. Base move speed equals Ferrari. He's actually not that fast base, I don't think. People were skipping like boots with him. Or not skipping boots, but at least staying on brown boots and shit. Like, it was kind of wacky, the things you could do. Avalanche mana cast decreased from 120. Wow, they're actually buffing Tiny. I never thought I'd see the day. Treant Protector. This guy does need a little bit of a nerf. Yeah, his Leech Seed. This seems fair. This seems fair. He was an absolutely crazy laner. Now this man is going to be slow as fuck. 280 is so slow. That's nuts. Yeah, 295 is not, all things considered, that quick. Germinate, cooldown increased. Yep, Weaver's been picked a lot. Makes sense they would change this. This is his most strong ability. I get it. Makes him a really, really strong laner as well. Okay, Winter Wyvern, base heal increased. All right, here is my sleeper pick of the game. Witch Doctor. Buffing Witch Doctor when Witch Doctor is getting spam picked is absolutely insane. Now, the paralyzing cast cooldown or creep thing, sure. Huge WD nerf. No, it's not. This is crazy, bro. This Death Ward is nuts. Nobody is talking about this. This is insane. Are you absolutely nuts? Yeah, but okay, you can control it already, sure, but there is lag time between needing to click the ward and then click on the heroes. Sure, but it's not instant. This is now instant, and you don't even have to do it anymore. You only have to do it if you need to select an actual hero. I think this is bigger than people are giving it credit for. You could do it pretty quick. You couldn't instantly do it. The paralyzing cask might be enough to make this hero not spam picked. This is pretty big. Twice the damage to creeps. Bonus damage per bounce. What does this do? 50. You think it's a big for low league, but his farming is gone. Is it actually, though? Yeah, it does nerf his ability to farm. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. Skeleton damage decreased by 3. Saddest day of my life. Saddest day of my life. You'll not be able to do camps until max cask now? Really, though? Is that true? Is that true? I mean, I don't know. I feel like he could still probably be fun. Feels like a buff for lower level players. I think you're right, Chicken. It probably is. I think this hero is going to get picked even more, though. This seems impactful. This is not an insignificant thing. You're going to have to use your shard to farm ancients. Okay, here's a question. Should Witch Doctor be a hero that can farm ancients? Should every hero be able to farm ancients? That's the question. And I don't know if Witch Doctor should or not. Dazzle can, which is crazy to me. Dazzle is actually a really good ancient farmer, but you have to get Ag Scepter first. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think overall these changes do make sense. I think they were a lot less than we were hoping for. I am willing to see how this pans out. I don't know if it's enough against Spirit Breaker. It seems like it's probably enough for Chaos Knight, and then Bristle also got hit. Just like a fucking cleave damage. This guy got slammed into the ground. Cast doesn't kill an Ancient Camp until you're like level 25. Let every hero solo Roche. Yo, what's up, Possum? What's up, man? They also left us a nice message here, guys. Let's read it. It would be doing them an injustice to not read the full thing. and Kunkka, that's right. Yeah, I think the nerfs to Kunkka made sense. All right, after nearly a year of coordination and production, the multi-week arena-sized monster that is the International 2023 has come to an exciting close. We've locked up Climate Pledge Arena, and we've all seen enough of Spirit Breaker. They even mentioned this guy in the name. In this name, they named him, dude. And we just shipped the gameplay update 7.34e. Time for the Dota team to settle down for the long winter's nap. But hark, what's that sound in the festive distance? No, that jingling of sleigh bells you hear isn't onset tinnitus. It's the magical year-end event we call Frostivus, looming large on the December calendar and arriving with a sack of stuffed and bursting with new features, cosmetic and surprises. And the Arcanas? Little Timmy asks hopefully, holding up his tiny Dickensian gruel bowl. Phew, this is awkward. No, Timmy, not yet. All cards on the table. The events surrounding the Arcanas this year has gained a few more moving parts than we initially planned. Even though we haven't finished everything yet and won't this year, we're looking forward to releasing it in the next few months. And that's not even getting into all the other updates we have planned, like... Well, can't even get to know. Okay, so Frostivus. Got it. It's crazy to me. It feels like they almost did nothing to this hero. This Greater Bash thing must be bigger than I'm giving it credit for. This has got to be the key here. This has got to be it. The Greater Bash. We'll see. I don't know. Here's my hot takes. Witch Doctor is still going to get picked. It's still going to get spammed. Spirit Breaker might get picked. It depends on how Greater Bash comes up here. Kunkka, I think, is going to get picked less. Dazzle is going to get picked the same amount, if not more. Bristleback is going to get picked less. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think heroes like Legion Commander are still going to be insane. Because none of the items that hero got, that hero gets, rather, have been touched at all. That hero's not even in here and is still amazing. And they even nerfed the things that make it hard to duel people, like Heart of Tarask. So that's awesome. Very interesting, though, and I'm curious to see if they release like a hot fix or something, because I'm surprised they didn't touch Spirit Breaker's status resist at all. That was another thing that made him crazy. And I'm surprised to not see that here at all.